First contact fiasco. Captain Vextal adjusted the targeting array of his ship's most advanced weapon system, double-checking the calculations. The Terran settlement below appeared primitive by galactic standards, simple structures of concrete and steel, nothing like the energy-shielded cities common throughout civilized space. This would be the easiest weapons test of his career. All systems calibrated, Captain, reported his weapons officer, Zinra. Her tentacles danced across the holographic control interface. The new quantum disruption cannon is charged and ready. Even a glancing hit should atomize any organic matter in its path. Vextal clicked his mandibles in satisfaction. The Armaments Consortium would pay handsomely for field test data from their latest weapon. And this backwater planet seemed perfect. The locals didn't even have basic planetary defenses. Their primitive projectile weapons would be useless against his ship's shields. Target that gathering of humans, he ordered, indicating a crowd outside what appeared to be an entertainment venue. Minimal power. We want to document the effectiveness without drawing too much attention. The quantum disruption cannon hummed to life, its crystalline focusing arrays glowing with barely contained energy. A brilliant beam of coruscating light lanced down from the ship, directly striking several humans in the crowd. Vextal leaned forward eagerly, waiting to see the devastating effects. But nothing happened. The humans looked around in confusion, a few pointing up at the sky, but otherwise appeared completely unaffected. Impossible, Zinra whispered. Direct hit confirmed, but no molecular disruption detected. Increase power to maximum, Vextal ordered, his professional demeanor cracking. The weapon's whine rose to a fever pitch as it unleashed its full destructive potential. The humans below now definitely noticed something was happening. Several pulled out primitive recording devices to capture the light show. A few even waved cheerfully up at the ship, but none showed any sign of injury or distress. Captain, we're detecting some kind of natural dampening field emanating from their bodies, reported the science officer. The quantum disruption effect is being completely neutralized. I've never seen anything like it. Vextal's mandibles clicked rapidly in agitation. The consortium had assured him this weapon could destroy any known form of matter. The implications of a species naturally immune to such technology were staggering. Sir, we're being hailed, Zinra announced with surprise. It's coming from a primitive radio transmission. Put it through, Vextal ordered, dreading what he might hear. A cheerful human voice crackled over the speakers. Hey up there. Cool light show. Are you guys doing special effects for the concert? The lasers look amazing. Before Vextal could respond, his tactical officer cut in urgently. Captain, detecting multiple incoming aircraft. Primitive chemical propulsion, but they're carrying what appear to be kinetic weapon systems. Evasive action. Vextal ordered. Get us out of here. The consortium needs to know about this immediately. As his ship flowed into the upper atmosphere, Vextal's mind raced. In all his years of weapons testing, he'd never encountered anything like this, a species whose very cellular structure seemed to ignore their most advanced weaponry. It defied everything they thought they knew about physics. The human voice came through once more before they cut communications. Leaving already? Come back anytime. That was awesome. Later, safely in hyperspace, Vextal recorded his official report with trembling appendages. Field test of Project PD-7 unsuccessful. Target species displays unprecedented natural resistance to quantum-based weapons technology. Recommend immediate classification of Earth as restricted zone. These humans are unlike anything we've encountered before. Their cheerful dismissal of what should have been devastating weapons fire suggests either incredible technological advancement hidden beneath a primitive facade, or worse, they may be genuinely immune to our most powerful weapons through purely biological means. Further investigation required, but extreme caution advised. He added a personal note. In all my years of weapons testing, I've never felt more unsettled. These humans didn't even seem afraid. They treated a weapon that could vaporize a small moon as an entertainment display. What kind of species evolves that kind of resilience? And more importantly, what else are they capable of? The implications would send shockwaves through the galactic community. Humanity's first official contact with alien life might still be years away, but that day's failed weapons test had already set events in motion that would forever change the balance of power in the galaxy. Little did Vextal know that this was only the beginning. The human capacity to shrug off advanced weapons would soon be the least of the galaxy's concerns. The impossible species. Dr. Zaltera hunched over her quantum microscope, her 4 eyes blinking in rapid succession as she studied the human tissue sample. After 3 standard cycles of continuous research, she still couldn't believe what she was seeing. "Run the simulation again," she ordered her AI assistant. "There has to be something we're missing." The holographic display sprang to life, showing the interaction between various weapon types and human cellular structure. Energy weapons, quantum disruptors, plasma bursts, all seemed to simply dissipate when they contacted human tissue. "Most fascinating," muttered her colleague, Professor Kvoth, his crystalline form shifting colors with excitement. "Their cellular structure appears to have a natural quantum uncertainty field. It's as if their very existence violates several laws of physics." The Galactic Science Academy's secret research facility orbiting a distant moon had been working around the clock since Captain Vextal's failed weapons test. The implications were too significant to ignore. "Look at this," Xaltira gestured to a particular data stream. "When exposed to energy weapons, their cells don't just resist the damage. They actually seem to absorb and redistribute the energy. It's like they evolved on a planet so hostile that becoming partially energy-based was the only solution." Kavoth's crystalline structure pulsed with deep blue thoughtfulness. "Earth's classification as a death world makes more sense now, but this goes beyond mere environmental adaptation. These humans, they're practically walking quantum anomalies." A junior researcher burst into the lab, their tentacles writhing with excitement. "Doctors, the latest field report just came in. A Drachnid pirate fleet tried to raid a human cargo ship. Their plasma cannons. The humans just walked through the plasma fire like it was a warm breeze." Zaltira's upper eyes widened while her lower ones narrowed, a sign of intense concentration among her species. "Send me the footage immediately." The holographic display shifted to show security camera footage from the cargo ship. Human crew members, seemingly unconcerned, casually strolling through streams of plasma fire to subdue the pirates with primitive but effective kinetic weapons. "Notice how they're not completely immune," Kvoth observed. "The plasma still affects them, but more like a mild inconvenience. Their bodies process and redirect the energy almost instantly." "That's not even the most interesting part," the junior researcher added. "After the attack, several humans reported feeling energized and tingly. They actually absorbed the weapon energy and metabolized it." Zaltira began pacing, all 4 arms gesturing as she thought aloud. "So not only can they survive on a death world, shrug off our most advanced weapons, but they can potentially use energy attacks to their advantage. The Galactic Council needs to know about this immediately." "Are you insane?" Kavoth's crystalline form flashed warning reds. "If this information becomes public, it could cause panic throughout civilized space, a species that renders our primary defense technologies obsolete. The military implications alone." "The implications are precisely why we must report this," Xaltira countered. "Humanity isn't just another primitive species we can quietly study. There's something entirely new. Their physics-defying biology could revolutionize our understanding of the universe itself." As if to emphasize her point, the tissue sample under the quantum microscope suddenly began glowing faintly, having absorbed enough ambient energy from their scanners to achieve a mild bioluminescent state. "Besides," she added, gesturing to the sample, "they're already aware something is happening. That light show incident wasn't isolated. There have been dozens of similar encounters reported. Humans are naturally curious. They'll figure it out eventually." Kavoth's colors shifted to a contemplative green. Perhaps you're right. But how do we explain to the Council that we've discovered a species that casually violates laws of physics we thought were immutable? We tell them the truth, Zaltira said firmly. That humanity represents both our greatest challenge and our greatest opportunity. Their unique biology could advance our understanding of the universe by centuries if we're willing to accept that everything we thought we knew might be wrong. As the scientists prepared their report, none of them noticed that the human tissue sample had begun pulsing in rhythm with the facility's power grid, somehow establishing a quantum resonance that would later revolutionize energy technology throughout the galaxy. The humans weren't just immune to energy weapons. They were about to change everything the galactic community thought they knew about the fundamental nature of life itself. Operation Earthfall. Grand Admiral Zexthor stood before the assembled fleet commanders, his chidness armor gleaming under the war room's harsh lights. Behind him, a holographic display showed Earth rotating peacefully, unaware of the massive armada gathering at the edge of its solar system. "The humans have left us no choice," he declared, mandibles clicking with determination. "Their very existence threatens the stability of the Galactic Defense Pact. If energy weapons are truly ineffective against them, what's to stop them from expanding unchecked through our territories?" Fleet Commander Ylva raised a tentacle. "With respect, Admiral, the humans haven't shown any aggressive intentions. They seem more interested in their entertainment broadcasts and primitive space exploration than conquest." "That's exactly what makes them dangerous," Zexthor countered. "They don't even recognize their own potential. A species that can ignore our most powerful weapons, living on a death world, thinking they're normal. It's only a matter of time before they realize their advantage." The holographic display shifted to show footage from various encounters with humans. A construction worker walking through a plasma breach to rescue a colleague. A farmer whose tractor was accidentally hit by a cruiser's main gun, complaining only about the pretty lights disturbing his livestock. "Our standard weapons are useless," Zexthor continued, "but we've developed alternatives. Kinetic bombardment, biological agents, gravitational weapons. We hit them with everything at once, overwhelmed their natural defenses." The assembled commanders chittered nervously. This would be the largest coordinated military action in recent galactic history. "Operation begins in 30 microcycles," Zexthor announced. "May the void grant us victory." The first phase of the attack should have been devastating. Hundreds of kinetic projectiles screamed through Earth's atmosphere, targeted at major population centers. But humanity's early warning systems, primitive as they were, proved surprisingly effective. "Sir, the humans are intercepting our projectiles," reported a tactical officer, confusion evident in their voice. "They're using chemical rockets to knock them off course. Some humans are even gathering to watch the meteor shower." Zexthor's carapace paled. "Launch the biological attack. Deploy the gravity weapons. Everything, now." But each wave of the assault met with similar results. The biological weapons, carefully engineered to target what they thought was human DNA, found their actual cellular structure too bizarre to affect. Some humans even showed signs of developing beneficial mutations from the exposure. The gravity weapons, designed to crush human settlements, encountered unexpected resistance. Human bodies seemed to have their own localized gravitational fields, allowing them to function normally even in severely distorted space-time. "Admiral," Ylva called out, her voice shaking, "we're receiving a transmission from Earth." The holographic display flickered, showing the human in what appeared to be casual attire, sitting at a desk with a cup of something steaming. "Hey there," the human said cheerfully. "Look, we appreciate the light show and all the interesting phenomena you've been sending our way, but some folks are trying to sleep. Maybe we could schedule these tests for more reasonable hours. Also, our scientists are super excited to study some of these effects. Any chance we could set up a proper cultural exchange?" Zexthor's mandibles dropped in shock. They had just launched the largest military operation in galactic history, and the humans thought it was a series of scientific tests. "Also," the human continued, sipping their drink. Those gravity things you sent down. Our physicists are having a field day. We've already figured out how to replicate the effect on a small scale. Pretty cool stuff. The war room erupted in chaos. Not only had their weapons failed, but the humans were already adapting and learning from the attack. Fleet Commander Yilva approached the stunned admiral. "Sir, I suggest we accept their offer of cultural exchange before they figure out how to weaponize everything we just threw at them." Zexthor could only nod numbly. The greatest military operation in galactic history hadn't just failed. It had accidentally accelerated human technological development by decades. As the fleet prepared to stand down, another transmission came through. "Oh, by the way, some of our teenagers have been posting videos of your energy weapons online. They're calling it the Alien Rave Challenge. It's gone viral. Just thought you should know." The galaxy's most powerful military force had just been turned into a social media trend. Somehow, that felt more devastating than any tactical defeat. The human factor, General Sarah Chen, stood before the United Earth Defense Council, her holographic presentation showing footage from what the media had dubbed the light show invasion. "Ladies and gentlemen," she began, "what looked like a catastrophic attack has given us unprecedented insight into alien military technology, and more importantly, into our own capabilities." The footage shifted to show civilians casually walking through energy weapon fire, construction workers using deflected plasma bolts to weld metal, and scientists studying captured gravity weapons. "It turns out," Chen continued, "that what the aliens considered a devastating military strike was actually the greatest technological gift humanity could have received. Our natural resistance to their weapons allowed us to study them safely, in real time." Dr. James Rodriguez, head of the newly formed Xenophysics Division, stepped forward. "We've confirmed that human cellular structure exists in a state of quantum uncertainty. Our bodies don't just resist energy weapons, they actively process and redistribute the energy. It's why we evolved to thrive on Earth, with its constant bombardment of solar radiation and environmental hazards." The council chamber buzzed with excited discussion. Council member Wong raised her hand. "And the practical applications?" Chen smiled. "That's where it gets interesting. Lieutenant Parker, please demonstrate." A young soldier stepped forward, wearing what appeared to be standard military fatigues. Without warning, Chen fired a captured alien plasma pistol directly at him. The energy burst rippled across his body in waves of blue light, and Parker's uniform began to glow softly. "Thanks to our understanding of our own biology," Parker explained, his body humming with absorbed energy, "we've developed fabric that mimics our natural energy redistribution properties. But instead of dissipating the energy, it stores it for later use." To demonstrate, he touched a dead computer terminal. It immediately powered up, running off the stored energy from the plasma shot. "We're calling it the human factor," Chen continued. "Our supposed weakness, being a primitive species from a death world, is actually our greatest strength. We don't need energy shields because we are energy shields. We don't need advanced weapons because we can turn their weapons into power sources." The footage changed to show the results of the aliens' gravity weapon deployment. "These devices were meant to crush our cities," Dr. Rodriguez explained. "Instead, we've reverse-engineered them into the first practical artificial gravity generators. We'll have gravity-manipulating ships within a year." "And the biological weapons they deployed?" asked another council member. "Already adapted into revolutionary medical treatments," Chen replied. "Turns out their attempts to harm our unique cellular structure gave us the key to enhancing it instead. Cancer rates have dropped 60% in affected areas." The council chamber fell silent as the implications sank in. Humanity hadn't just survived an alien invasion. They had turned it into the greatest technological leap forward in human history. "There's more," Chen added. "Remember those teenagers doing the Alien Rave Challenge? Their social media posts gave us vital data about how different individuals process energy weapons. We've identified genetic markers that could lead to even more efficient energy absorption and redistribution. And the aliens? Council Member Wong asked. How do we prevent another attack? Chen's expression turned serious. That's the beauty of it. They can't attack us, not effectively. Every weapon they use against us just makes us stronger. Their only option is peaceful contact. As if on cue, a message came through from the alien fleet still lurking at the edge of the solar system. Their universal translator rendered it in clear English. To the United Earth Defense Council, we formally request the establishment of diplomatic relations and technical assistance. Your species' ability to adapt our weapons into peaceful technology is unprecedented. Perhaps we could learn from each other. Chen smiled. And that, council members, is how you win a war without firing a shot. They came to destroy us and ended up becoming our students instead. The council chamber erupted in applause. Humanity's first interstellar war had ended before it properly began, transformed into something far more valuable, the dawn of a new era of galactic cooperation. And it all started because humans were simply too stubborn to be vaporized by alien weapons. A new understanding. The Grand Galactic Council chamber had never been so crowded. Representatives from thousands of species packed the ancient hall, all eyes focused on the human delegation making their first official appearance. Ambassador Maria Rodriguez stood at the podium, her simple Earth-made suit standing out among the elaborate technological displays worn by other species. Behind her, a team of human scientists prepared to demonstrate what they'd learned from the failed invasion attempt. Distinguished representatives of the galaxy, she began, we come not seeking revenge for the recent attack on our world, but to share what we've learned, both about ourselves and about the true nature of technological progress. The chamber buzzed with translated whispers. Many species still couldn't believe how thoroughly their military action had backfired. What we initially thought was a weapons test, followed by an invasion attempt, has instead become the greatest technological and cultural exchange in human history, Rodriguez continued. Dr. Chen, please proceed with the demonstration. Dr. Sarah Chen stepped forward, holding what looked like a simple metal sphere. This device, she explained, combines human biological energy processing with the alien gravity weapons used against us. Watch. She activated the sphere. Instead of the destructive gravitational distortion the aliens had intended, it created a perfectly stable anti-gravity field. Several human children, who had been waiting in the wings, ran forward and began playing in the zero-gravity zone, laughing as they floated. We call it the peace sphere, Rodriguez explained over the astonished murmurs. A weapon of war, transformed into a tool for joy. But that's just the beginning. The next demonstration showed human workers in modified suits, absorbing energy from alien weapons and using it to power entire cities. Another showed medical facilities where adapted alien biological agents were curing diseases thought incurable. Humanity's greatest strength, Rodriguez continued, isn't our immunity to your weapons. It's our ability to see beyond their intended purpose. Where you saw tools of destruction, we saw opportunities for creation. Grand Counselor Zexthor, who had led the failed invasion, shifted uncomfortably in his seat. And what of our military vulnerability? With your abilities, what prevents you from conquering the galaxy? Rodriguez smiled. The same thing that's prevented us from conquering ourselves, the understanding that true progress comes not from domination, but cooperation. Yes, we can absorb your energy weapons, but we'd rather use that ability to help solve the galaxy's energy crisis. She gestured to the human children, still playing in the anti-gravity field. Look at them. They're not afraid of your technology. They don't see alien weapons. They see new ways to explore, to learn, to grow. That's the future we want to build. The chamber erupted in discussion. Species that had feared human military potential were now seeing a different kind of strength, the power to transform conflict into cooperation. We propose, Rodriguez announced over the din, the establishment of the Galactic Innovation Exchange, a place where all species can share their unique perspectives and abilities, finding new ways to repurpose old technologies for peaceful uses. The vote was unanimous. Within months, the exchange was established, with humans serving as natural intermediaries, due to their unique ability to safely test dangerous technologies. Years later, a plaque would be placed in the Grand Council chamber, bearing words that came to define humanity's role in the galaxy. To the species that turned our weapons into wonders, our fear into friendship, and our greatest military defeat into the galaxy's greatest victory, humanity showed us that true strength lies not in the power to destroy, but in the wisdom to transform destruction into creation. The failed invasion of Earth became known as the Great Enlightenment, the moment when the galaxy learned that sometimes the most primitive-seeming species could teach the most advanced